So, folks, how many years has it been now that we've had to sit and listen to these MAGA bros go on and on and on about Jeffrey Epstein? There are people out there who have made this their entire identity, and they have questioned every angle of the story. They want to know exactly who was on the plane, how many times they were on there, especially Bill Clinton. They want to know all about his time. They want to know all about that. They want to know all about what happened on the island. Hell, even the Fudge Round dude stuck it in his song, Miners on an Island Somewhere. They have absolutely just made it all about Epstein and what happened. And did he really kill himself? I don't think he did. I don't think that was a suicide. And Dan Bongino spent years questioning the story. And now he just comes out and tells the official story and backs it. And everybody just goes back to bed. What kind of conspiracy theorist does that? What kind of conspiracy theorist spends all their time questioning something right into the ground, only for someone that they listen to tell them the conspiracy, get in, tell them the official story, and then they go, all right, cool. That's the kind of people that we're up against. So I'm going to read you this story here from minusnews.com because Dan Bongino questioned the official story every step of the way, and now he's out there saying it, and I don't guess Oliver Anthony will be writing a sequel anytime soon, but here we go. Dan Bongino questioned Epstein's death in 2019. Now he's back in the official story. A now deleted podcast episode reveals just how far Trump's FBI director or FBI deputy has shifted. So, we're going to watch a little bit of these clips here in just a second. But before Dan Bongino became Trump's deputy FBI director, he was warning listeners not to trust the official story behind Jeffrey Epstein's death. In an August 2019 episode of the Dan Bongino Show, now deleted from YouTube. Now, if you're a conspiracy theorist, hang in there, okay? Deleted from YouTube due to an account suspension. Why did they do that? He cast serious doubt on the idea that Epstein died by suicide, calling the case deeply, deeply disturbing. Bongino questioned why Epstein wasn't on a suicide watch and suggested that a mental health professional may have been involved. Bongino also questioned the logistics of the reported hanging. When you see how the cells are laid out, how high they are, how there's not really anchor points or anything, how they don't really give them a lot of metal things to work with, even the sheets they give them aren't weight. They're not capable of bearing weight. Joe, they give them it's like paper type sheet. It doesn't bear weight. In other words, if you were to rip it into a rope type thing, how exactly did that happen? So Bongino stated that he was just asking legitimate questions and called for the details to go public because there are a lot of questions out there. Bongino also pushed listeners to consider Epstein's potential ties to foreign intelligence operations. He said this: was he working as a human source for the FBI? Was he working for intelligence, some kind of foreign intelligence? I'm not suggesting he was some, Mossad asset. I'm just suggesting that there's an open question out there as to why he was given some of these deals in the past, and was there a trade-off? Was he working as a source for someone? At one point, Bongino hinted at a cover-up. I'm giving you a wink and a nod because this story, I think, is bigger than even you know. Despite his repeated disclaimers avoiding speculation, he fed into many of the same suspicions that have animated MAGA-aligned conspiracy theories for years. Now, as part of the Trump administration, Bongino is taking heat from that same base, appearing on the Fox News in May 2025 alongside FBI Director Kash Patel. He said he killed himself. I've seen the whole file. The MAGA backlash was swift, with longtime supporters accusing him of selling out or becoming part of the deep state. Trump's own failure to release the Epstein files, despite repeated campaign promises, has only added fuel to the fire. And I'll just say this: there may be some folks out there in MAGA land that are upset about this, but all I know is a lot of the people that I was really arguing with the most about this, they've not been commenting on my videos. They've not been saying much. And when I brought it up, they just sort of they don't have a whole lot to say. But let's go ahead and we'll just play a little bit of this. Won't play the whole thing. But let's watch some of this right here, because this is him back when he bought into all the conspiracies.
Today, obviously, the deeply disturbing revelations about Jeffrey Epstein's death. Lots of open questions on that we're going to get into. And your job was, you basically had one job. Well, maybe two. Fingerprint the people who were brought in on the live scan machine and make sure they don't harm themselves in the cells. You had one job. One job. Apparently, MCC blew it on this one job. Now, Bill Barr, the Attorney General, as we can see from this Daily Caller piece, is apparently pretty disturbed by this too. William Davis wrote this in the Daily Caller. Bill Barr says Epstein's death raises serious questions. Yes, obviously. That's going to be in the show notes today. Check that out. The DOJ and the IG are looking into this. I want to get to the meat and potatoes here, ladies and gentlemen. First takeaway. The FBI and the IG, the Inspector General looking into the death of Epstein this weekend, had damn well better handle this quick. They better handle this by the numbers, and they better handle this publicly. Folks, I'm going to wait till the facts come out. I don't engage in theories I can't back up. But I think Joe and I would both agree the questions surrounding this alleged suicide are numerous and are worth entertaining and worth getting to the bottom of quickly. And all of a sudden he shows.
So they're numerous and they're worth getting to the bottom of. But now he's saying this.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? But just follow me on this one. And if you are a conspiracy theorist or you entertain those type of things, just play along for a minute here, okay? We have seen countless clips of Donald Trump dancing alongside of Epstein and pointing and laughing. And we saw him sitting with young girls on his lap beside Epstein. And he was one of Epstein's best friends. And now he's back in office. And when he was asked about if he would release the JFK files, he immediately said yes. When he was asked about if he would release the 9/11, he immediately said yes. When he was asked about the Epstein files, he pumped the brakes and said, well, maybe not so much that one because that involves a lot of people and there's a lot of fake news in there. And now that he's back in power, he puts people in charge of it who just comes out and tells you the official story and says, yeah, he did it. It was all official. We questioned it for nothing. I mean, I'm not I'm not that way, but I don't think the way they think, but I can put myself in their shoes and I just know how that I would feel if I played along with something that long, only for the very people that told me it was a conspiracy to one day look me in the face and go, no, it wasn't. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if you look at, I'm not, and I'm going to pull a Dan Bongino here. I'm not saying anything, okay? I'm just, but I mean, you got to ask. This guy has said he would release everything, but not Epstein. Can't talk about that. That's got a lot of personal information in there. That's got a lot of, I mean, I'm just going to say, take the images of Trump alongside of Epstein, the dancing and the pointing in his ear and all that, pictures of him with the young girls on his lap, saying, I'll release it all, but I'm not going to release the Epstein files. Put all of that, just replay all of that in your mind, but instead of Donald Trump, it's Bill Clinton. I will not release them files. There's a lot of personal information in there, and I can't really get that out there. Can you imagine how hard these people's heads would have exploded? Oh, he's in on it. It's all a cover-up. He got reelected, and now he's back in there, and he put them up to telling the official story. They would lose their minds. But when it's Trump, I mean, yeah, no, Trump seen through him, man. Trump seen what a bad guy he was. Trump seen what a bad guy was. He wouldn't get back on that plane after he seen what a bad guy he was. Okay. This is the type of people that we're dealing with, folks, and these are the type of people that are fired up and ready to vote, and stupid votes count just the same as smart votes. Always remember that, okay? So we'll see how this goes, but I've had, several people over the years, man, they have been dedicated trolls to me, and they have talked about Epstein a lot, and I'm still sitting there waiting to see if they're going to comment now. They used to send me messages all the time about it. I may send them one, see if they reply. I don't think they will. It's crickets now. there might be a few people kicking and screaming, but a lot of people that I was talking to about it now just suddenly wants to change the subject real fast. And I think we all know why. But folks, I do appreciate your support here on the channel. We're continuing to grow, and we're continuing to get toward 800,000 subscribers. I do believe that we'll get there, and I believe we can get to 1 million before the year's over. So let's just keep pushing forward. And I really do appreciate everyone's support. It doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button. People ask me that all the time. It doesn't. But if you ever do want to throw a few bucks, we have a Patreon, and we talk about everything under the sun over there. Sometimes I get away from politics over there. I reviewed a Charles Manson documentary. I've reviewed cigars. We've played some music. We've even lit up the grill over there, just trying to take our mind off of this crazy world we live in. And when you're watching and reviewing a Charles Manson documentary to take your mind off this shit, you know it's gotten out of hand.